Okay, so after a day of flood, we are at the top of a hill. I mean, granted, there is a little bit more of a hill behind us, but we are effectively at the top of a hill. So we never would have anticipated that we would have been impacted by flooding. But as you can see, we had to consistently try to trench out the property to, what a mess. Like, that's just a ton of mud on that side and on that side. And unfortunately, when it was several inches high, as you can kind of see, it did get into the back door until we were able to flood that area. But yeah, this is supposed to all be concrete, and then traditionally, you know, this is technically all concrete too, and then there was a little oval garden area here with concrete all around, but I can't even begin to try to understand what it's going to take to get this cleaned up on the outside, you know, let alone the wet muck that got on the inside. Although luckily the first part of the basement in there is basically kind of a painted flooring, but then in the back of the house, see what happened, I think, is, you know, there's a pit over here. And luckily, I mean, in a way, the pit actually probably helped to a certain extent because it filled up with water. The problem is, it started overflowing. We dug a trench from the pit over to the side of the driveway, but unfortunately, the whole back of the yard just got so saturated, and this kind of trenched out area here started filling up with water. From the melting and the rain and the snow, and the ground was frozen, so there was nowhere for it to really flow, and it started to flow this way and down that side of the house. But I don't know exactly what happened here or how this would have happened, that the whole side of the house over here would sink in. I mean, just it is unbelievable. I mean, you can see where, you know, obviously this is a rock-lined area, and then it just all collapsed by the window wells, and not just a little bit, a lot. And then I can still hear water draining and going in, and then it was running down, obviously through there on that side of the house, and somehow through the other side of the house, and then that's what was coming around the front and draining onto the patio. There's a pipe here which is exposed, and I'm not even sure how deep this goes, which is like pretty alarming and a little scary right now. I mean, I hope, frankly, that the foundation of the house is secure, that we're not going to sink or anything. But again, as you can tell, I don't know how we're going to fix this. And like, if there's any more rain, I mean, I can tarp that off, but this ground is like frozen, and so even trying to trench it was like next to impossible. So yeah, that was our day. Our beautiful house on a hill flooded. Who would have thunk it? You can see the river down there is overflowing, and then the Smith River Road itself, we tried to travel down it, and there's parts of it that also collapsed and had water running over and flooding as well. It's it's like a mudding experience in an arena. Like, I've never seen the farmer's property across the way pool like that ever. So yeah, it's just the situation. And the river is really, really full. Luckily, our neighbor Yvonne is up on a little bit of an island, and she doesn't have a basement, so that's cool. But I don't know how she would get to the main road in her car right now. This is just awful. It's just awful. I mean, look at how deep that mud is. So Jeff's inside dry vacuuming right now.